Hey everyone, and welcome back to Jeff and Joe's Puerto Rican Kitchen, where we show you how to make easy, authentic Puerto Rican recipes. We're still getting ready for the holidays, so we're still doing pasteles. We just put out 2 videos about how to make pastel de masa and pastel de yuca in a very traditional manner. But I wanted to follow up and do one more video to show you guys one different way to do pastel de yuca. So today we're doing pastel de yuca al horno, so basically baked pastel de yuca. So baked pastel de yuca are the same pastel de yuca, so same dough, same filling. The only difference is how you cook it. Rather than boiling at the end, we're gonna wrap it in tin foil and we're gonna bake it. Some people love the different flavor that comes from baking in aluminum because I feel you get a higher temperature in the oven than you do when you just boil it. And so here's what we need for our pasteles. First, we got 3 pounds of grated yuca. Again, I'm using the frozen stuff just because it's so much easier. You just have the bag, you thaw it, you pour it out, that's what's in here. 3 pounds grated yuca. We got half a cup of chicken broth, a 1/4 cup of achiote oil, 2 teaspoons of salt, and 2 tablespoons of shortening. That's it. You just mix that all together, you have your masa. So then you need your filling. You can check the link for our pork filling, for our chicken filling, guys, in the original videos. Super easy to make. This is actually a plant-based meat filling. I have some vegetarian friends I was making pasteles for, so I had it sitting around. Then we got some banana leaves, and then we have some aluminum foil. Again, this is different than normal pasteles where you use parchment paper, but because we're baking it in the oven, we're gonna use tin foil that helps shield it a little bit more, prevents it from burning, and also helps it cook faster. And there you go, guys. Super easy, super delicious, pastel de yuca real quick. So let's get cooking. We just put out a video on making pastel de yuca using basically the same recipe as we are making here, so I'm not gonna spend a lot of time repeating the details. The first thing you want to do is mix up your masa. To do this, dump your grated yuca into a large mixing bowl and then add your achiote oil, the chicken broth, the salt, and the shortening. The only thing to keep in mind is that you need the yuca to be completely thawed, so make sure you do that ahead of time. Once you've combined the ingredients for your masa, mix them together, ultimately using a whisk to thoroughly combine everything. You want to make sure that the shortening gets fully integrated, so beat your masa vigorously. Once finished, it should have an even color throughout and no lumps. With your masa mixed, next go ahead and preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, while your oven is preheating, let's wrap the pasteles. Because you need a lot of things to make your pasteles, I like to set up my workstation so everything is in reach. I have my banana leaves, aluminum foil, and achiote oil on my left, then my filling and masa on my right, with an open space right in front of me to roll the pasteles in. Again, since we covered a lot of this stuff in our previous videos, we aren't showing you how to cut your banana leaves or make the achiote oil, but feel free to jump back to those videos if you have any questions on how to do that. Once your workstation is set up, start folding your pasteles. I'm actually going to make these pasteles 2 ways, just to show you guys some different options. In the first version, I'm going to line the aluminum foil with banana leaves, but in the second version, I'm just going to leave out the banana leaf. This change affects the taste and texture of your pasteles, so give them both a try to see which one you like better. For the first version with the banana leaf, roll it up just like you would a normal pastel. Put the aluminum foil in front of you with a banana leaf on top. Then use a brush to paint some achiote oil onto the banana leaf in a rectangle approximately 6 inches wide by 4 inches high. Once your achiote oil is in place, scoop approximately 2/3 of a cup of masa onto the banana leaf on top of the achiote oil. Then spread your masa into a rectangle, fully covering the achiote oil you just brushed onto the leaf. Finally, add about 1/4 of a cup of filling to your masa in a straight line along the edge of the masa closest to you. Once your filling is in place, use the banana leaf to double the masa over onto itself so that it fully encompasses the filling. Next, fold any remaining portions of the banana leaf back onto itself and pull the pastel towards the end of the aluminum foil closest to you. Once situated, roll the pastel forward once in the aluminum foil, then press down on the edges of the pastel, pushing all of the filling towards the center. Next, fold in the sides of the aluminum foil along both edges, creating a crease along the length of the aluminum foil. Once the sides are folded in, just finish rolling your pastel forward until fully wrapped, then set it aside. Because we are going to bake these, we don't tie them into yuntas. And because we are using aluminum foil rather than parchment paper, there's no need to use twine to keep them closed. So again, the process is pretty straightforward once you have everything prepared. Just put down a piece of aluminum foil with a banana leaf on top. Then paint on your achiote oil and add 2/3 of a cup of masa. Spread the masa into a rectangle and then add a 1/4 cup of filling along the edge. Next, double over your masa encompassing the filling and then roll it forward once in the aluminum foil. Finally, seal up the edges of the pastel and finish rolling it in the aluminum foil. Easy! Now, on to the version without the banana leaf. For this one, you literally just repeat the same process as before, but you leave out the banana leaf. So just put down a piece of aluminum foil, paint on your achiote oil and then add the masa. Then, same as before, just spread out the masa, add your filling, and then double the masa over onto itself, encompassing the filling. Next, just push the pastel towards the center of the foil and fold up the edges on both sides, sealing in the pastel and creating a crease the length of the aluminum foil. With the sides folded up, just roll the pastel forward and you are done. Keep rolling pasteles until you use up all of your masa and filling. Once you are done rolling your pasteles, just arrange them all on a baking sheet. In order for them to cook the fastest possible, put the pasteles down in a single layer with a little bit of space between them. Now bake your pasteles at 350 degrees for approximately 1 hour. Once your hour is up, pull the pasteles out of the oven and let them cool down until you can handle them comfortably. At this point, you can unwrap them and they are ready to eat. Just add a side of arroz con gandule and your Christmas meal is all done. Enjoy! So there we go, guys, our baked pastel de yuca, and I will tell you they are delicious. I've been chowing on them. I got the two kinds, right? I have the one without the banana leaf and the one with the banana leaf. So just a couple things about the differences between the two. First, the one with the banana leaf is definitely moister, juicier. The leaf kind of traps all of the steam inside and cooks it in more liquid, as compared to the one in just the aluminum foil, which is a little drier, although I think it also has a little bit more flavor because there's a lot more heat getting into it. So it's in contact with the aluminum, which is in contact with the pan, which is getting heated up. So you get a little bit more caramelization, a little bit more taste, and maybe just a different flavor, I would say. So guys, again, this is just a real quick video. I wanted to show you a different way to do this because I think one, like they're interesting and their taste a little bit different, but two, it's just so easy to do, guys. It's real simple. You can bang these out real quick. It takes about an hour to cook, so that's a little bit, that's a decent amount of time, but they're super easy to put together, and then you put them in the oven and you forget about them. You don't need to boil water, you don't need to dunk them in the water, you don't need to clean up, you just pull them out and they're done. Guys, this is delicious. I hope you try it. I hope you like the video as well. Hit the like button below, share with your friends, subscribe if you haven't already, hit the bell button so you get notifications. We want to stay in touch, and we want to show you guys more great Puerto Rican recipes. So again, come back next week and join us again for another episode of Jeff and Joe's Puerto Rican Kitchen.